Hey there, graphic design students. Welcome to week 14. I know that last week might have been a little bit of a challenge for you in doing your transformation phase, but even if it was a challenge, I am hoping that you did enjoy it, at least to some degree. And remember, trust the process. It's about learning. Don't get overly tense and concerned about everything not working out exactly like you want it to. Remember, this is just the beginning course. There's a lot of time. If you're headed down the graphic design pathway, there's a lot of time for you to get better and better. In fact, this week, you're going to take your transformation phase and put it on a magazine cover. And if you want to, you can modify or improve that transformed face this week. There's nothing that stops you from adding value to your transformed face. But you are going to take that face and you're going to put it on a magazine cover. And the main point of that is typography. Yes, I know we have been trying to work with typography all throughout the semester. And as you have found out, typography is really one of the most difficult things to work with. So this week we're going to spend quite a bit of time on it. In fact, there is a specific lesson number 45, called Working with Type, that you really need to pay attention to. There's a lot of information in that lesson, so don't just scan it and go on. This is really important stuff. In that lesson, you're going to see Brian Boskill teach you some information about type. You are going to read a lot of information about type. And then at the bottom of that lesson page are 4 links of additional sites that have information I want you to review so that you are really ready for this assignment. It is all about type and grouping of type. So read everything, watch everything. Now, in this little video that Brian Boskill is going to do teaching you how to work with type, I want to give you a little preview of it just to sort of whet your appetite. So here, watch this.
We have a lesson working with type. So the magazine cover is primarily focused on typography. So let me take a look at this. I have a 30-minute video talking about how to manage your type as far as a magazine cover is concerned. So please watch that. We're going to bring a couple more principles that we haven't covered before. One of them is the principle of proximity, and the other is the principle of similarity. So let me talk about that for a second. So if I use this example of a website that I was working on, and I have all the assets I'm going to use on my typography on the page this way, do you think it would be easier to understand like that, or the same information organized like that? That's all about proximity and similarity. So let's say that this is all the information that I have for my magazine cover. This is all the type that I'm going to deal with on my magazine cover. The way it is right now doesn't make a whole lot of sense. There's no hierarchy to it. I haven't grouped things into specific groups so that the reader understands that, oh, this is the masthead, oh, this is what the magazine's about, and these are stories within the magazine. So by taking these things and starting to separate them out, change them, then you start to see how just changing that type around and moving that type around and chunked it in and gave it some space around stuff, it kind of starts grouping it into different kinds of information. And that's what I want you to think about when you're dealing with the type on your magazine cover. So if I keep going with this, I could end up with something like that. So now I'm starting to change the font, not only the size, but the font itself, which makes a further distinction in the kind of information that it is. All right, and I continue to do stuff like change the color, add drop shadows, add some effects that would change stuff. And now we start seeing more and more of a magazine typography solution. Okay, and also remember, I'm going to use margins, and if you don't use margins, then
I'm not going to be happy. Not happy.
Margins keep the type away from the edges. Not all the type. See how the big superhero logo is bigger than the margin? That's okay. But for the rest of your typography, you want to keep it inside the margin. So I show you in the other movie how to make margins in Photoshop and how to use that.
Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that little preview. I hope it whet your appetite for this week's content. The assignments due this week, there are 4 of them. There's the overview assignment as normal. Really make sure that you check out everything and plan your work week. And just like last week, you have 3 assignments due at 3 different times. You have to post your comp on Friday, and also you have to review or critique other students' comps by Saturday, and then post your final magazine cover by Sunday night. So hope that makes sense. Just like last week, let me know if you have any questions. I'll see you later. I'm going to take a page out of Professor Boskill's method of teaching. What he does every week in his overview is show you the module. I'm sorry I should have done that earlier, but better late than never, right? So here you can see we're in week 12, and if you're watching this video, you are already inside the overview. But what I want to point out is that there is more information than just the video in the overview, especially when the assignments are due. Make sure you read when the assignments are due, and here is an overview of each assignment and what you're trying to accomplish. So check that out and take notes, schedule, plan, all those things I've been talking about for quite a while. Back in the main module section, you have the discussion board. Then you have the project overview. Not all the detail of the project is in this lesson, but the basics of the project. In other words, not the specs, but the whole project from beginning to end. This is sort of the big picture view of the project. You need to read it, take notes, and make sure you understand it. If there is any question or any problem, let me know. It's best that you understand everything as early as possible. That will keep you from running into problems later on and having to get all stressed in the last minute. So the more you do ahead of time in understanding the problem, the better. Next, you'll notice after the lesson, you have 3 assignments. Assignment 46, Assignment 47, Assignment 48, and then the weekly announcement points that many of you are still not getting. In Assignment 46, what you're supposed to do is upload your comps. So the deliverable, the thing that you're turning in here in Assignment 46 is comps of a magazine cover. Here's all the information. Again, some of it is repeated from the overview, and here are the specifications. Read it, make sure you understand it. Let me know if you have any questions. I don't mind answering questions at all. The earlier you get at this, the earlier you get me questions, the earlier you understand the project, the better the results are going to be, not only with the end result, but the process as well. So read this, upload your comps. Now there are actually 2 parts to this, although only one is delivered in this assignment. What I mean by that is in Assignment 46, you should complete your comps. You're going to upload your comps and all the other process work in this assignment for me to grade, but you're also going to upload your comps, not the process work, just the comps, to Assignment 47, which is a discussion. Here, like we did last week, you're going to upload your comps for your peers, your fellow students, to review and critique, and you're responsible for critiquing other students. I forgot to mention that uploading the comps is due by Friday. And here you can notice that it says posting the comps due Friday. So upload the comps due Friday, posting the comps here in the discussion due Friday, but this discussion stays open all day Friday, all day Saturday, so that you can make your critique. That's due Saturday. Posting Friday, critiques due Saturday. Then based upon the critiques that you get from other students, you're going to make changes, modifications to your magazine cover to improve it, and then by Sunday, you're going to submit your final magazine cover.